What's good, YouTube? KC the Quiet Warrior here. Now, in advance, um, I just want to say something real quick. I apologize, Jordan Green. Um, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to steal your ideas or topics or anything like that, but when I watched this video, I had to come on here and talk about it. Now, what I want to talk about today is discipline and and motivation in general. This video gonna be off the dome. I didn't write this down or script it out or anything like that, but um, really, what I want to come on here and address is motivation, because it seems in today's society that people factor in motivation to get the things that they want to get done and be successful in their life. But motivation is only a quick spark. You know what I mean? It's only there for a second. It's not there throughout the journey, throughout the race, throughout the marathon. Because if you always have to get motivated to do something, then you'll never achieve what you want to achieve in life. Because motivation, it's like lighting, it's like lighting a lighter to a firecracker. Now, you know, using this as an example, when you light the firecracker, it'll light up and eventually it'll stop, and that's when the firecracker pops. And the reason I say that and use that example is because motivation will only be there to push you for a certain amount of time until you had to put together the strength and the courage to do what you want to do to be successful in life. Because if you're just using motivation to get that fire within you to start doing what you set out to do and achieve to be successful in life, you won't get there, because like I said, it's like a firecracker. Motivation is only there for that certain amount of time. I don't care how motivated you are to do something or get something done. You can have all the motivation that you want in the world, but at the end of the day, if you don't want it bad enough to get it done, if you don't want it bad enough to know that you have to do it in order to succeed in life and achieve the things that you want to achieve, then you'll never get to where you want to get. Because just using motivation as a key starter is not going to get you to the point you want to get to. Because it's like I said, and I'm sorry if this sounds redundant, but it's the truth. Because what happens when that motivation runs out? What happens when you have to wait every once in a while to gain that motivation? What happens in between that time period? Because you see, motivation is not a bad thing at all. It's good to be motivated. But if you're not disciplined enough to want it for yourself to get it done, then you'll never get there. Because you could be motivated, but like I said, what about the times where you have to wait for that motivation to come? What happens in the time when you're motivated for that certain amount of time? What happens in between there? Because if you're not disciplined enough to set out to do the things that you want to do, then all that motivation that you've been using to kickstart, to succeed in your life, it won't match up, because it's only there for that short amount of time. And like I said, motivation is not a good thing at all. But you don't want to use that for the main factor for you to be successful in life, because it's only there for that short amount of second. These two things, motivation and discipline, in a way they're similar, but they're different. Because if you don't want it in order to get done whatever you need to get done, you won't get there. You have to build discipline in order to become successful in life. Because with discipline, it's a different ball game. Because discipline is where it gets nitty gritty. It's where it gets dirty at. Because discipline comes from, even if, you may not have had a good day, you may have been, having mental issue problems that day. You may have not been able to, eat that day. You may not have been able to get to where you wanted to go, you know what I mean? Because, issues with your car, or something like that. You may not have had the best day. You may not have, got enough sleep. This is where discipline comes in. Because even if you are going through problems in your life, even if there's conflict and adversity within your life, when you have discipline, none of that stuff matters, because it's in you, it's biting at you, it's scratching at you. Because at the end of the day, even if you are going through problems and you're facing adversity, you still need to get the things that you need to get done if you want to become successful. Motivation is only the lighter to the firecracker. But when that firecracker goes out, what are you doing to keep that flame alive? You know what I mean? Because it's only there for that short amount of second. See, motivation, it kind of plays like a mind game on you. Because you really only get motivation when you're in a good mood. But like I said, it's a difference between the two. Because with discipline, that's when you have to get it done, regardless of any situation, regardless of any circumstances, no matter what. Because you built that up, and at the end of the day, no matter how much adversity you facing, you have to get that thing done. Because it's ingrained within you. It's etched into your mind and into your day-to-day, basis on how you operate. Because discipline, it just doesn't come from you always being in a positive light, or in a positive situation, or in a positive mindset, or a positive day. You know what I mean? Discipline comes from, regardless of whatever situation you're in, negative or positive. The discipline is the anchor. It's not necessarily holding you down, but it's the strength. It's the key factor that holds you afloat when you may be going through something, and you don't know, whether or not if you can get it done, but you don't complain about it. You don't, get upset or anything. You just get it done because you know at the end of the day, it's something that you need to do in order to strive to where you want to be in your life. Motivation is almost like a facade. It's not bad, like I said, but it really only comes around when you want it to. When you're in that mind frame, when you're in that positive, you know, realm all the time. And if you go through your life just solely focusing on getting the things done by motivation, then you won't get to where you want to go. Because the two have differences. Yeah, you can use motivation to help get what you want to do, but discipline is the solid anchor that keeps you afloat no matter what situation. And you have to do you have to do things in order to build that discipline, because it just doesn't come overnight. And it's not just a one-time thing, you know what I mean? You have to do these things in order to gain discipline. You have to set out things that you need to get done in order to build that. Say, for instance, like a whiteboard, writing down your daily schedule. You know what I mean? Have a planner and, write down specific times that you need to get things done by. Meet that criteria. And even if it's out of order or if it's not at that time, you're still building that discipline, because you know those are the things that you need to get done for that day. That's what builds that. When you set out and you come to a term of agreement with yourself, and to say that you're going to get all the things that you want to get done within that day, regardless of what's happening. Because motivation is just a quick spark, but there's a difference between the two. And there's many other things you can do to gain discipline. But the main thing is you have to become more sharper with yourself. You have to write these things out. Set a daily schedule. Meet that criteria. Get those things done. You know what I mean? Delete social media. Focus on yourself more. Journaling. Things like this are the stepping stools to becoming more disciplined. But understand the key factor that I've been going, bambling over and constantly going over is that motivation just alone by itself will not get you to where you want to go, because it's only the little flame that kick starts it. But just don't let that solely be the purpose of you getting the things that you need to get done. You have to build discipline, because discipline is what's going to get you to where you want to go. That's the part that even if you ain't feeling good or whatever, that you get it done anyways. That's the key change right there. That's the game changer right there. So that's what I wanted to come on here and talk about, and just understand the differences between the two, because they are similar, but they're not the same.